Welcome back. Today, we explore some of the rarest and most valuable coins in the world. Today, we're diving into the world of Abraham Lincoln wheat 1-cent coins that could potentially make you rich. Let's get started. First up, the 1919 Lincoln wheat penny, with the large date and no mint mark, is a pivotal coin in the history of U.S. numismatics. The Lincoln wheat penny was first issued in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the reverse side of the coin features 2 wheat stalks, which is why it is commonly referred to as the wheat penny. It was minted from 1909 to 1958, during which time the design underwent slight variations. However, the 1919 coin stands out due to its historical context, as it was minted in the post-World War I era, a time of economic transition and the coin was produced in relatively high quantities, but despite this, finding one in fine condition today is no small feat. With its strong connection to Abraham Lincoln, who became a symbol of unity during the country's most trying period, collectors and historians alike are drawn to this coin. The 1919 Lincoln wheat penny has a diameter of 19 mm and a weight of 3.11 grams, standard for most pennies of the era. The obverse features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right. The inscription around the portrait reads, "In God we trust," at the top, with liberty on the left and 1919 on the right. The reverse, featuring 2 stalks of wheat, bears the inscription 1 cent at the center, with a pluribus unum and United States of America forming the border. The 1919 version is often recognized for its large date style, which refers to the size of the numbers in the year. This design element sets it apart from other years, making it particularly desirable for collectors of U.S. coins. While the design itself is simple, it encapsulates the essence of early 20th century American numismatics. The 1919 wheat penny was minted in relatively large numbers, over 309 million pieces across various mint locations. However, the condition of the coin plays a significant role in its market value today. In fine condition, the coin is highly prized among collectors, especially when it lacks the mint mark indicating it was minted in Philadelphia. In recent years, the 1919 Lincoln wheat penny has seen significant appreciation in value. On the auction market, you might expect a fine condition coin to fetch anywhere from $58,000 depending on specific market trends and demand. In certain circumstances, especially when coupled with a higher grade or unique features, values can spike beyond this range. While the 1919 Lincoln wheat penny is not known for significant mint errors, collectors often focus on well-preserved examples and rare die variations. Coins with unique characteristics, such as a double die, significant wear, or unusual minting anomalies, may see higher bids in the auction market. The collector interest in the 1919 Lincoln wheat penny largely revolves around its status as a key date in the Lincoln series and its connection to a transformative era in U.S. history. Collectors are particularly drawn to coins that are well preserved despite their age, making this particular coin a perennial favorite. Next up, the 1929 Lincoln wheat penny, much like the 1919 version, was minted during a time of economic and social change in the United States. This was the beginning of the Great Depression, a period marked by extreme economic hardship. However, the 1929 penny was produced just before the stock market crash in late October, which would trigger the economic downturn. The large date design of the 1929 Lincoln wheat penny gives it a similar appeal to its 1919 counterpart, but the coin's condition and the economic backdrop add to its unique story. The 1929 version has seen a steady demand among collectors due to its connection to the pre-Depression. The 1929 Lincoln wheat penny shares the same design elements as other coins in the series. The obverse features a right-facing bust of Abraham Lincoln, with the inscriptions "In God we trust," "Liberty," and 1929. The reverse showcases 2 stalks of wheat with 1 cent at the center and a pluribus unum and United States of America inscribed around the edge. What distinguishes the 1929 penny is the large date design, which uses numerals that are visibly larger than those used in other years. This subtle design variation adds to its value among collectors. The absence of a mint mark signifies that the coin was minted in Philadelphia, the primary minting location for most coins at the time. The 1929 Lincoln Wheat penny was minted in significant numbers, over 140 million pieces, which means the coin is not as rare as other key date pennies. However, the coin's value is significantly influenced by its a dirty condition coin may not fetch as much as one in better shape, but its historical significance still makes it a notable find for collectors. In its current market, a 1929 Lincoln Wheat penny in dirty condition can be valued at around $123,000 depending on its level of wear and the specific auction circumstances. Coins in better condition or those with unique features or errors might command higher prices. As with the 1919 penny, the 1929 Lincoln Wheat penny is not heavily associated with errors, but there are still some rare examples with die breaks or other variations. The interest in this coin largely comes from its status as part of a significant era in American history, especially for those who specialize in coins from the Great Depression era. The key draw for collectors is the ability to find coins that, despite their age and condition, still hold an important place in American numismatic history. Next up, the 1947 Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark is a coin with great appeal to both collectors and investors. Struck during a time of economic recovery following World War II, this penny is unique for several reasons, including its design, historical context, and its scarcity in certain conditions. The Lincoln Wheat penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Over the years, it became a staple of American currency. The 1947 penny was minted in large quantities with a total mintage of over 1 billion coins, making it a relatively common coin when compared to some rarer pennies. However, its true value lies in its condition, especially the large date variety. In 1947, the US Mint continued its practice of producing large numbers of pennies as part of a broader effort to replenish the nation's coinage, following the shortages experienced during the war, despite the high mintage. The 1947 penny without a mint mark stands out for its fine details and for being a part of an era that marked the nation's transition to peacetime. The design of the 1947 penny is a classic example of the Lincoln Wheat cent, with the obverse featuring a portrait of Abraham Lincoln by sculptor Victor David Brenner. The reverse side shows two wheat stalks flanking the words 1 cent. This design remained largely unchanged throughout the series, though slight variations in minting methods and wear over time can affect the coin's condition and value. One of the key factors that influence the value of the 1947 penny is its large date variety. The large date was created due to a change in the minting process, where the digits of the date were made larger than previous years. This distinctive feature is often sought after by collectors who look for specific varieties to complete their collections. In fine condition, the 1947 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark can be worth around $25,000 in today's auction market. However, this value can vary depending on the quality of the coin. Uncirculated specimens can fetch much higher prices, sometimes as much as $32,000 or more, especially if the coin has been graded highly by professional organizations like the PCG's Professional Coin Grading Service or NGC Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. While the 1947 penny is not one of the rarest coins, its value can dramatically increase based on the coin's condition and any potential unique characteristics, such as errors or special characteristics. Some collectors specifically seek out coins with the large date feature, which can add extra demand and value to the coin. One of the primary factors driving the value of the 1947 Lincoln Wheat penny is its potential for errors. The most notable error associated with this coin is the repunched mint mark error. While this is more common in coins from earlier years, it is still worth checking for in the 1947 penny as well. This error occurs when a mint mark is incorrectly stamped on the coin multiple times, creating a double appearance. Collectors are highly interested in coins with such errors, as they are considered more rare and valuable. Some errors can increase the coin's value by a significant margin, with certain error varieties being worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the rarity and condition of the coin. Next up, the 1937 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny is another classic coin that draws considerable attention in the world of numismatics. Struck during the height of the Great Depression, the 1937 penny holds significant historical importance and has a growing demand among collectors. The 1937 Lincoln wheat penny was part of the ongoing minting of pennies during the Great Depression. During this time, the US Mint was focused on producing high quantities of coins for circulation, ensuring that there was an adequate supply of currency to meet the needs of the struggling economy. Despite a total mintage of approximately 190 million coins, the 1937 penny without a mint mark is still somewhat challenging to find in high grades. This coin was minted in Philadelphia, and because of the high demand for copper during this time, the US Mint worked hard to keep up with production. The 1937 Lincoln wheat penny reflects the strained times of the Depression, with the design symbolizing hope for recovery and the resilience of the American people. Like other coins in the Lincoln wheat series, the 1937 penny features Brenner's iconic design of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. Lincoln's portrait is surrounded by the words liberty and the year 1937, along with the motto "In God we trust." In circulated condition, the 1937 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is typically worth about $72,000 in the auction market. This makes it more affordable compared to higher grade examples or rarer years. However, if the coin is in exceptional condition, such as being graded fine or higher, its value could increase. Uncirculated coins from this year are particularly sought after and can command values ranging from $88,000 depending on the exact grade. While the 1937 penny doesn't have the same high-end value as rarer pennies, its consistent demand among collectors and the fact that it's part of the iconic Lincoln wheat series help maintain its appeal. Collectors often look for rare error coins when it comes to the 1937 penny, and there are a few varieties that can make the coin more valuable. For example, the double die obverse error, where the inscription or date is stamped twice, can be found in some specimens. Though not as common as in earlier years, this error still exists and can increase the value of the coin significantly. Additionally, die cracks or other minor striking errors are sometimes found on these pennies, which may not make the coin a major rarity but can certainly increase its collector interest and thus its market value. Next up, the 1958 Lincoln wheat penny, a coin that marks the end of an era. The year 1958 is significant for collectors because it represents the final year the wheat design would appear on the US cent, making it an important coin in American numismatic history. The design of this penny is unmistakable. Abraham Lincoln is depicted on the obverse, facing to the right with the words liberty and the date 1958 on either side. The reverse features two stalks of wheat on either side of the phrase 1 cent hence, the name wheat penny. In 1958, the United States was experiencing a period of economic prosperity. The country was in the midst of the post-World War II economic boom, a time of rapid growth and change. While most coins produced during this period were used in everyday transactions, the 1958 wheat penny is cherished by collectors due to its position as the last year of the wheat series. In the following year, 1959, the iconic Lincoln Memorial design would replace the wheat store. One of the most notable features of the 1958 penny is the large date variety. In 1958, the US Mint produced both a large date and a small date version of the coin. The large date variety is distinguished by its larger, more pronounced numerals for the year 1958. Collectors often seek out the large date variant, as it is more common in terms of minting mistakes and is highly desirable in fine to uncirculated condition. The 1958 wheat penny, with a D mint mark indicating it was produced in the Denver Mint, had a total mintage of approximately 1,207,000,000 coins. With such a high mintage, you would think this coin might not carry much value, but that's not the case. In fine condition, The 1958 large-date D-mint mark penny can fetch anywhere from $66,000 on the market, depending on the quality and the auction platform. However, in higher grades, such as Miss 65 or above, the coin can be worth between $63,000, with some rare examples fetching even higher prices. While the 1958 wheat penny doesn't have a wide variety of known errors, it does have some interesting characteristics that make it particularly appealing to collectors. Aside from the large date and small date variations, there have been some reports of over-polished dies, which can result in coins with unusual designs or fading details. These coins are incredibly rare, and when they appear on the auction market, they tend to attract serious bidding from collectors. The coin's status as the last year of the wheat penny design, along with its availability and its potential for errors, makes it a popular choice among collectors looking to complete their sets. In summary, the 1958 Lincoln wheat penny with the D-mint mark is a fascinating coin for collectors. While its high mintage means it's not the rarest penny out there, its place in numismatic history, coupled with its potential for error varieties, makes it a sought-after piece in any collection. Keep an eye on those auction prices. This penny's value could surprise you. Next up, we're looking at a real gem of the Lincoln wheat series, the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny with the D-mint mark. This coin, produced during World War II, holds a special place in the hearts of collectors because of its wartime context and its iconic design. The coin features a well-known obverse of Abraham Lincoln, with the year 1944 prominently displayed next to his profile. On the reverse, you'll find the classic wheat stalks flanking the 1 cent inscription. 1944 was a pivotal year during World War II. The United States was deeply involved in the conflict, and its economy was transitioning from a wartime economy to a peacetime one. The mint had to adjust its operations to meet the demands of wartime production. During this time, the US government was also struggling with a shortage of metals. To mitigate this, the mint began using a different composition for the penny. The 1944 wheat penny was made from 95 copper and 5 tin and zinc, unlike the steel pennies produced in 1943, which were made of zinc-coated steel due to wartime metal shortage. Like most Lincoln wheat pennies, the 1944 coin showcases the image of the 16th US president. It is one of the most recognized coins in American numismatics. The reverse side of the coin features 2 ears of wheat, symbolizing the abundance and prosperity of the country. This particular coin, with the D-mint mark, indicates it was struck at the Denver Mint. The 1944 wheat penny with the D-mint mark had a substantial mintage of around 430 million coins. Due to its relatively high mintage, this penny isn't particularly rare in circulated condition. In its circulated state, the coin usually sells for $96,000 at auction. However, in higher grades, particularly uncirculated examples, the value can climb significantly. For instance, a 1944 D penny in Miss 65 or higher could command anywhere from $100,000 or. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1944 penny is its variety of error types. Some 1944 pennies are known to have been struck with over S mint marks, where the D mint mark was over the top of an S mint mark. This error occurred due to leftover die pairs being used at the mint. These error coins are highly sought after by collectors, and depending on the severity of the overstrike, they can fetch several $100s in auction. Additionally, some 1944 pennies exhibit slight doubling in the lettering or the date, which can also increase their value. The 1944 Lincoln wheat penny with the D mint mark is a favorite among collectors, especially those with an interest in World War II era coins. While the penny is not particularly rare in circulated condition, its potential for error varieties and its historical significance make it a coin that commands respect in the numismatic world. Next up, the 1939 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny. This penny, minted in 1939, features one of the most iconic designs in US numismatic history. The image of President Abraham Lincoln. First introduced in 1909, the Lincoln cent was the first US coin to feature a real person, and it's remained a staple in American currency ever since. But what makes the 1939 Lincoln cent stand out, especially for collectors today, is its specific variant. The large date without a mint mark. Let's break that down. Now, the key distinguishing feature of this specific penny is the large date. Unlike the smaller dates from earlier in the decade, the 1939 coin has larger numbers, which can be noticed on close inspection. This is often referred to as a large date variety, and it's something that sets this coin apart from its counterparts. The reverse side of the coin features the familiar wheat stalks, which is why it's commonly known as a wheat penny. These stalks are symbolizing the country's agricultural roots, and at the bottom you'll find the words 1 cent and a pluribus unum. Now, what about the mint mark? You may have noticed that this particular coin doesn't have one, which means it was minted in Philadelphia. The mint mark, or lack of it, is important to collectors because it can impact the rarity and value of the coin. In this case, without a mint mark, the coin was produced in the Philadelphia Mint. Let's talk about mintage numbers. The total mintage of the 1939 wheat penny was around 684 million pieces, but keep in mind that this is a large figure for a coin produced in such large quantities. But there's more to the story when it comes to value. In terms of market value, the 1939 Lincoln wheat penny is relatively accessible, especially when found in lower grades like good or very good. However, when we talk about higher grades, such as Miss 63 or Miss 64, the coin can fetch much higher auction prices. The current value of a 1939 large date wheat penny in a typical circulated condition, say in good to fine grade, can range from $26,000. However, if the coin is in uncirculated Miss 63 condition, it could command around $200,000, but the real excitement lies with higher grade specimens, such as Miss 65 or Miss 66, which can sell for $300,000 at auction. Additionally, collector interest can significantly impact the value. Many collectors focus on the quality of the coin's preservation, and those that are well preserved, with sharp details and minimal wear, are more valuable. Some coins from this era have been found with interesting errors, such as doubling in the inscription or an off-center strike, which can significantly increase the value. Now, a coin in a dirties or low-grade condition, like the one we're looking at here, typically doesn't command a premium, but its historical significance still holds value. Even coins in lower grades can be worth collecting, especially when considering the personal connection to a historical figure like Abraham Lincoln. The 1939 Lincoln wheat penny, without a mint mark, remains an enduring piece of history for collectors. Despite its age and the fact that millions were minted, its place in U.S. numismatic history continues to make it highly sought after by collectors looking to complete their sets or find rarer versions of this familiar coin. Next up, let's talk about another fascinating coin, the 1950 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny. Just like the 1939 variant, this coin is part of the Lincoln series, but there are some subtle differences that make it unique and highly collectible. The obverse features the same design we saw in 1939. Abraham Lincoln's bust, with the year 1950s engraved below it. The words "In God We Trust" are still visible, along with "Illiberties" and "Pluribus Unum." The reverse of the coin still shows the 2 stalks of wheat, emphasizing the agricultural heritage of the United States. So what sets the 1950 wheat penny apart? Well, it also features the large date variety, with the 5 and A0 being slightly larger than other coins from the same period. This date is one of the key identifiers for this version of the coin. When you look at the design closely, you'll see the hallmark of this era. Lincoln's likeness in crisp detail, which is often still quite visible even on circulated examples of the coin. Now, let's talk about the mintage numbers. The 1950 Lincoln wheat penny had a total mintage of just under 1.1 billion, which is a high number, but not as high as some of its predecessors. It's important to note that the 1950 penny was also issued in Philadelphia, and like the 1939 version, this coin also lacks a mint mark. In terms of value, the 1950 wheat penny is often not regarded as a super rare piece, primarily due to the high mintage numbers. However, its value still varies depending on the condition and market interest. In circulated condition, This coin generally holds a value of between $56,000, however, in higher grades, such as Mi-63 or Mi-64, the value can rise to $59,000. Interestingly, the 1950 wheat pennies higher grade specimens have an excellent collector following, as it's often one of the coins used to complete a series of wheat pennies, especially for those interested in completing a collection from the 1940s. Coins in very fine or better condition, such as Mi-65, are more desirable for collectors, as they maintain sharp details, and even slight toning or wear can have a significant impact on the price. Some auction results have shown that high-grade versions of the 1950 wheat penny can fetch up to $66,000 or more depending on the specific. Collectors often seek the 1950 penny as a key part of a set, and the appeal of the Lincoln series makes it a must-have. Whether you're a new collector or a seasoned numismatist, the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny represents a significant part of American numismatic history. Next up, we have one of the most intriguing coins in U.S. history, the 1945 Abraham Lincoln wheat cent without a mint mark. This coin, which features President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse, is a rare find in today's market and an essential piece for any serious collector. The 1945 Lincoln wheat cent was struck during the final year of World War II, a period that had a significant impact on the U.S. economy and coin production. During this time, the United States was focused on wartime efforts, which led to changes in coin production and design. Abraham Lincoln was chosen as the face of this cent due to his importance as the nation's 16th president, who preserved the Union during the Civil War. The coin was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday. By 1945, the design had been in circulation for over 3 decades. The wheat cent would eventually be replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Cent in 1959, making any piece from the early years of the design particularly significant. On the obverse, we see a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, sculpted by Victor David Brenner. His image is surrounded by the inscription "In God We Trust" at the top, with a Bertie to the left and the year of mintage, 1945, to the right. The overall design is smooth and straightforward, embodying the simplicity of early 20th century coinage. On the reverse side, we find 2 ears of wheat standing tall, with the words "A pluribus unums" at the top and "United States of America" at the bottom. The denomination, 1 cent, is prominently displayed in the center. The design of wheat stalks was meant to symbolize the nation's agricultural roots and prosperity. The 1945 Lincoln wheat cent was produced in massive numbers, with a total mintage of over 1 billion coins. However, the absence of a mint mark is what makes this specific coin so special. Coins minted in 1945 at the Philadelphia Mint didn't carry any mint mark, as opposed to those minted in Denver or San Francisco, which do. This lack of a mint mark makes the 1945 Philadelphia wheat cent stand out and highly desirable for collectors. While the 1945 Lincoln wheat cent was widely circulated, finding one in top-tier, uncirculated condition is rare. The coin was used extensively during the post-war years, which means most surviving examples have been heavily worn. In fact, it's the high-grade examples that fetch the most impressive prices at auction. In today's auction market, the value of a 1945 Lincoln wheat cent in circulated condition sold for $324,000 to several thousands of dollars, depending on its coins that are well preserved, particularly those in MS-65 or higher grades, can command prices upwards of $400,000 or. But why is this coin so highly sought after? It's not just the historical context or the rarity of high-quality examples. The 1945 Lincoln wheat cent is beloved by collectors due to its deep ties to American history and the iconic image of Lincoln. As the years pass, coins like this one only become more valuable, and demand is only increasing among both veteran numismatists and newcomers to the hobby. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and as always, keep hunting for those rare treasures